All right, welcome back everybody to a brand new video, and I'm super excited because we just got even more new card reveals to look at here. New card reveals for a new set coming out in Japan called the Heatwave Arena, which is going to come out in March, and I'm pretty sure this set is going to be in our May set, so these new cards will be in our set after Journey Together. But of course, with this new set revealed, of course, we're getting more new trainers Pokemon, like we're getting Misty, Ethan, Cynthia, and Arvin cards, which is pretty exciting for sure. I'm definitely excited to take a look at all these cards here. I think today we are going to see a little bit of the Misty's cards and some of the Ethan cards in the new set. I'm excited to see what the Cynthia cards are going to be like. Cynthia's obviously a pretty popular character, and that'll be a cool one to look at. And I'm excited to look at these cards. Y'all are too. Make sure to leave a like on the video. And if you're new to the channel, subscribe down below. We are on the road to 21,000 subs here on the second channel. And I'll leave a link to Poke Beach down below if you want to go check out any of these cards for yourself. And yeah, let's get into it and look at these new cards. Starting off, we have the Ethan cards. If you don't know who Ethan is, I guess some of you guys might not know who this is. Ethan's the male character you play as in the Gold and Silver games, which is kind of cool. You know, it'd be kind of dope, actually, if we got Red's Pokemon. Yo, make it happen, Pokemon. Just saying. All right, so we got a new Typhlosion line here. We haven't had, like, a good Typhlosion in a while, so hopefully this one is playable. Well, it's already promising. We have a decent Quilava here, Ethan's Quilava. Once you're in turn, you can search your deck for an Ethan's Adventure, reveal it, and put it into your hand. So I've already got a little peek at what Ethan's Adventure does, and it's not a bad card. It will synergize with the Ethan's Pokemon, obviously. And Quilava gets you a free supporter. A searchable supporter on an ability, on a non-rulebox ability, pretty good. So the ability alone is good, and it's going to synergize really nicely with the Typhlosion. And like I said, we haven't had a good Typhlosion card in a while. This one can do some big damage thanks to Quilava. Now, it's got the attack of Buddy Blast, which for one fire does 40 damage plus 60 more damage for each Ethan's Adventure in your discard pile. So this attack is very similar to some of these cards like Kofu, the Serena, Braixen deck, those type of archetypes where you're just trying to discard as many of the supporter cards as you can with that name, and then it activates an effect or lets you do more damage. And in this case, Typhlosion can do a buttload of damage. That multiplier is pretty good. 40 plus 60 is really good, because that means if all 4 of your Ethan's Adventures are in your discard pile, Typhlosion gets to do 280 damage for 1 energy, which is insane. That's some great numbers. Now, the nice thing about this is because the Quilava makes it easy to find Ethan's Adventure, it actually will be fairly easy to get this rolling. I mean, you technically could play Brilliant Blender too, obviously. You could just like Arvin, Irida, or Irida will be gone by then. Arvin for Brilliant Blender, blender away all 4 Ethans, and then boom, just like that, Typhlosion is swinging. But Ethan's Adventure isn't a bad card to have for this archetype. We're going to get into what that does soon, but it's really nice. We got a decent Typhlosion. It is a stage 2. We're going to be in a meta where, you know, Phantom Dive is still going to be popular. Cynical, thankfully, has 70 HP, but we'll have to see how good this Typhlosion is, because that's a lot of damage. 1 energy for 280 potentially is not too shabby, and it has good synergy with Quilava. You have a bit of an engine in the deck with the Quilava, which is nice. Kind of like how you have like that engine with Dracloak and stuff. All right, we got Ethan's Slugma here. Doesn't really do anything too crazy, but we got Ethan's Macargo, so big fire guy here. We got Melt and Flow. If this Pokemon has no energy attached, it has no retreat cost, and then it's got the attack Lava Burst for 3 fire energy, does 70 damage, discard up to 5 fire energy from this Pokemon, doing 70 damage for each energy discarded in this way. That's quite a bit of damage. I don't think this synergizes with like Reversal Energy to do like 210. This card is fine, I guess. Might be okay with some of the other cards, but we'll take a look at that. I mean, if Magma Basin was around when this card existed, yeah, it's not a bad card with Magma Basin, but Macargo's okay. We'll look at the next card here, which is our first look at an EX card from this set, the Ethan's Ho-Oh EX here. So it's got the ability Golden Flame. Once you're in turn, you may attach up to 2 basic fire energy from your hand to one of your benched Ethan's Pokemon. So that's a pretty good ability. You can use this ability to power up that Macargo if you want. It looks like you can stack Ho-Oh, so from the looks of it, you can have multiple Ho-Ohs in play, which is kind of nice. So maybe that's how you build up the Macargo, right? Use Ho-Oh to charge it up. The Ho-Oh's like, I mean, doesn't really do much with the Typhlosion. The Typhlosion only needs the 1 energy, but that's a pretty good ability. It's only on the bench, though. Ho-Oh does have a 2 retreat, but it's still a decent card. And then, of course, it's got the attack Shining Feather for 4 fire energy. Does 160 damage. You heal 50 damage from each of your Pokemon. Pretty funny attack there because, you know, it's decent against Phantom Dive, just saying. So definitely not a bad card. The ability is really good. And if we see even more Ethan's Pokemon get revealed, the Macargo is probably the best partner for it. And then obviously you can build up your own Ho-Ohs on the bench. The Ho-Oh only does 160 damage, though. It's not a great attacker. It'll be better with like the Macargo, and the Typhlosion could be its own archetype. Like the Typhlosion, you don't really have to play with the Ho-Oh because you have that one fire energy in your attack cost. Like a 1 energy for 280 is pretty good. You don't really need a Ho-Oh to attach energy, but the Macargo Ho-Oh could actually be its own thing, which is kind of neat. So we'll have to see on that one. And the Ho-Oh could be good with cards like Earthen Vessel. Obviously, Superior Energy Retrieval is another big one. Ho-Oh could be good with Latias too, so you can like, well, I guess it doesn't need to be in the active, so maybe not. I don't know. Anyways, Ho-Oh's decent. I like it. The Ethan's engine looks good, and if we see any more new Ethan's cards, this could be pretty good. Again, it's only specifically Ethan's Pokemon on the bench, so it's not other fire types. It'd be a little too good. But it's nice that we're actually getting like a decent Ho-Oh, considering Lugia has been like the better of the Johto legendaries for like ever now. All right, we got some Misty's Pokemon here. We got Misty's Psyduck, obviously an iconic Pokemon Misty has. Slapstick Jump. Once your turn, if this Pokemon is on your bench, you may discard the bottom card of your deck. If you do, discard all cards attached to this Pokemon and put it on the top of your deck. So, pretty interesting ability, for sure. I mean, yeah, it's a little interesting ability there. And then we got, well, I guess we don't have the Golduck, so I don't know. We'll see if the Psyduck is any good. I don't know. Hold on, let me see what the Magikarp does. All right, does that have synergy with the Magikarp? Magikarp's got the ability Incredible Dive. As long as this Pokemon is on your bench, prevent all damage from an effects of attacks from your opponent's Pokemon done this Pokemon. Okay, so they printed a Magikarp that can't get Phantom Dived. How thoughtful of them. And what does Misty's Gyarados do here? We got Misty's Gyarados, Splashing Panic, 70 damage for 1 Water Energy. Discard the top 7 cards of your deck. This attack does 70 damage times the amount of Misty's Pokemon you find there. Okay, so yeah, that's the synergy there. So the Psyduck's ability is how you're going to power up Gyarados' attack. Because we've seen these type of like discard top card X cards before. Like there's a Sandaconda, there's the Iron Thorns in the format. But they're never really competitive because you don't really have like a good way to like control the top. I mean, you use there's cards like Academy at Night, or there's Cypher Maniac, but they're just not as consistent. This deck actually has a built-in engine with Gyarados' attack, because otherwise that'd be really risky. Depending on how many Misty's Pokemon we get, you have to play a lot of Misty's Pokemon in your deck in order for Misty's Gyarados to do a lot of damage. So we'll have to see what other Misty's Pokemon we get. For 1 Water, you hit pretty hard. I mean, 7 cards is a lot of cards to discard, so that's a pretty good multiplier, technically, right? 7 times 70 could be pretty good. So Gyarados could be cool, and then, of course, use Psyduck. You put the Psyduck on top of your deck with its ability, and then you use Psyduck. You can literally put 4 Psyduck on top of your deck and guarantee 4 discards. You'd have to find a way to put the Psyduck back in your hand. I guess you could play Lana's Aid and Night Stretcher to get them back. That could be an option, so that's cool. All right, not bad at all. Bit of synergy there, and we might see more Misty's cards as we get revealed. I'm assuming we're going to get a Misty's EX too, right? We'll see if it's Misty Starmie or something. But yeah, Ethan's Pichu here. Sparking Draw. 30 damage, draw a card. Yo, okay. This is kind of decent against Budu. Yeah, I kind of like that. It's like not bad against Budu. Another baby Pokemon. Knocks out Budu and draws you a card. Not bad at all. Now, there is Elekid in the format that technically is like a Budu counter too, but there's a reason why nobody's playing Elekid right now. Pichu is like fine. I mean, you knock out the Budu, you activate Pheasantipity, which is kind of the problem. But Ethan's Pichu does give you a card to work with, so it's a little bit better than Elekid in that regards. So that's cool. Then we got Ethan's Adventure here. So this is the supporter card that you get to search out with your Quilava. Search deck for up to 3 of any combinations of Ethan's Pokemon and basic Fire Energy, reveal them and put them in your hand. So while you can use like a Brilliant Blender to discard all these Ethan's Adventures for your Typhlosion, you can still use Ethan's Adventure to get you your Pokemon and your energy. I mean, you get 3 fires, right? So you can use it to get 3 Fire Energy, which is really good with that Ethan's Ho-Oh EX. And of course, you can also get Ethan's Pokemon. So you can use Ethan's Adventure to find your Macargos and stuff. The Quilava does support you. So I guess like the entire Ethan's deck is its own engine. So I guess if you're going to be playing the Macargo Ho-Oh deck, you may as well play the Quilava and the Typhlosion, I guess, if you're going to play the Ethan's Adventure, because it has good synergy with the deck. I mean, I know there's cards like, obviously, like Ultra Ball and Earthen Vessel are pretty good ways to like fuel up Macargo and stuff with Ho-Oh, but I definitely can see Ethan's Adventure being good as a staple. So maybe the entire deck will have its own engine. That's kind of cool that they all can work together in that regard. So that's actually kind of neat for sure. And then we got the last card revealed here is Sacred Ash. This is a reprint from way back in the set Flashfire, way back in 2013, which can't believe it's been that long since Flashfire. But Flashfire had a Sacred Ash. Sacred Ash is not as good as Super Rod, but it's decent. You get to shuffle up the 5 Pokemon for your discard pile back into your deck. Now, you don't get energy, you just get Pokemon, but Sacred Ash is definitely not a bad card. Probably going to be good with Gyarados, obviously. That's like the main partner for Gyarados will be to play Sacred Ash with it. You can use Sacred Ash to discard a bunch of Pokemon, or you use Sacred Ash, sorry, to get the Pokemon back that you discard with the Gyarados. So that's kind of cool. Not a bad reprint. It's interesting that we're going to have Super Rod and Sacred Ash in the same format. That's going to be neat, actually. So not a bad reprint. Again, we'll see what more new cards get revealed that will synergize with Sacred Ash. I'm trying to think of any other cards in our format with Sacred Ash, but the most thing I think of is the Gyarados. Could be wrong on that. If there's anything else that's already in our format with Sacred Ash that makes it good, let me know. But yeah, new cards got revealed. The Ethan's deck definitely looks pretty exciting. The Typhlosion Quilava looks good, and then obviously the Ho-Oh looks strong. We'll have to see what other Ethan's Pokemon get revealed. I don't know if we're going to get any more Ethan's EXs. He seems to be like a fire type guy, so we'll see if there's any more new fire Pokemon that are going to be playable with Ethan's. Hopefully we get more playable Ethan's cards, because I'm excited to see what other Pokemon could work with the Ho-Oh. I'm excited to see what the Cynthia's cards are going to be like and what other Misty's cards. We kind of got a little bit of a first look here at these new cards. I'm sure we're going to get more new reveals as the week goes on. Maybe even next Thursday we're going to see even more new card reveals. I'm excited to see them all, and I'm going to cover them here on the second channel when they do get revealed. But hopefully you enjoyed the video on this. Let me know what you think of these new cards down below in the comment section below. Are you excited for the Ethan's Pokemon and the Misty's Pokemon and Sacred Ash reprint? Let me know what you think of all that down below. We'll leave a link to Pokebeach, the site I used in the video, if you want to look at the cards for yourself. And I'll catch you on another video very soon. Bye-bye.